Hello everyone and welcome back to my Meaningful Creations vlog. Now, it's been about a day, so it's time to pull out the test cover and see how it did underneath the book. Okay. Alright. That... Don't know if you can see it on camera, but that flattened it out quite nicely. Yeah, there's a little bit of a warp to it, but like, not nearly as much as there was when I put it under the book. And probably if I layered some of the other books that I have on top of this one that I left it under, which, as you can see, is a fairly thick book. But if I put like two of these on top of it, it would probably flatten it out. Yeah, if I put like two of these on it, it would probably flatten it out quite a bit. So I'm quite pleased with this. And that means that it's time to paint the real cover. And as you can see, I've pulled out both sheets of cardstock for my covers. And we're just going to go ahead and fold both of them, but I'll only paint one. I only need one cover painted. I only need one front cover. Oh, that was not the best fold. No, it was not. I'm going to need a different piece of cardstock. This is another thing that I'm showing you guys that you may not see on other YouTube tutorials, is sometimes you don't get the fold right, and so you have to start over with a new page. Much better. So this will be our front cover, and I'll pull out another page later, I guess. No, what the heck. I'll go ahead and do it now. Bring it closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. Line up those corners. Take my dull knife bone folder. And not 100% perfect, but it'll do. So this will be my back cover. Is your template. Stay. Now to prep my colors. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. I'm just going to scooch. Just gonna drip good size drop. Ooh, that might be more than I need, but that's okay. Like I said in the previous video, watercolor is a forgiving medium. Yes, I'm storing the 3 colors that I'm using for this project in with my thread. Don't know if you can actually see that, but I am unashamed in how I am storing my goods. Goods? Goods. Get all the words in there. Yeah, I think I can leave just that much red. If I need more, I know where to get more. Set that aside for now. I'll be waxing the thread, I believe, this moment. Time, yes. Okay. It's kind of. Slide like I wanted. And what like that. Yeah. And now I pour out the water to activate the paint if and when I need it. Beautiful. This is probably going to be the, well, maybe not the longest part of the video, but one of the longer parts. And I'll just go ham with this brown. I had stuff scripted out that I was going to say for this part, but I was like, I don't know if I'm actually going to put painting the cover into the main part for this segment, because I already did a painting segment. So I will do the majority of the monologuing, I suppose it would be, when I am taking care of making my signatures. That'll be fun. One of the things that I like about this medium is that no matter what you do, even if you're doing the same pattern, you're never going to get the exact same outcome. Like, I have painted this stencil so many times by now, and yet every time I paint it with these watercolors, it comes out looking a little bit different. Sometimes a lot different. And yeah, I like that. I really do. It's just a unique part of the medium and part of what makes it beautiful to me. It's another aspect of a handmade product. Like, you can have a blueprint and an idea of what you want the finished product to look like, but because it's handmade and because, you know, it being made by a human, by hand, it's always going to look just a little bit different. Like, YouTube is, it's a monster, you know? But I've been, kind of recommended pottery videos, which is kind of odd because I'm not a potter. I mean, I have the utmost respect for artisans like that. You know, the time and dedication that they put into their craft is just amazing. I mean, I say that for a lot of fields, but honestly, it's true. Like, if you put in the time and effort to be good at something, I'm gonna have the utmost respect for you because, like, you put in your time. You did work, and when it produces something beautiful and maybe not necessarily, like, it doesn't have to be a useful thing that you produce. But, like, if you produce a quality piece that's beautiful and going to be enjoyed by people for years after it leaves your studio, like, props. Like, I gotta respect it. And, like, I have to respect doctors and scientists and psychologists. Like, especially like social sciences, man. They can be a wreck, you know? Like, just ooh, like social services. You can have the utmost of compassion and love for children, but you're kind of a victim of the system, just like the people you're trying to help. Because, you know, you're bound by rules and laws and regulations, and sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. Just like life. Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to, and it can be really frustrating. Uh, I am not a psychologist. I am not a social worker. I am not really anything. I'm just, right now, I'm just a young woman with a set of watercolors, a camera, and nothing but words and time. But I don't, I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know why I got all, not necessarily philosophical, but like, I don't know why I just went off, you know? I don't know why I'm like kind of deep. Deep? Is this deep? Am I getting deep? I don't know. Oh, I remember what I was talking about before I went off on like social work and all that. I was talking about pottery and how handmade medium, like handmade stuff is always unique and different, no matter how many times you've made the same thing. How think that's awesome. Gosh, my rabbit holes are insane, y'all. Just absolutely insane. But you know, that's okay. It's just the way my brain works, and everyone's brain works a little bit differently. Which is another beautiful thing, really. And think about it, we're all human beings. We all have like the same general blueprint, right? And yet, all of us work slightly differently. Like, one of my favorite sayings, I don't know where I got this. I don't know who first said it. If you do know, great. But for me, it's just become one of those things that I know, and it's just a part of the background noise in my head, if you will. But where was I going with this? I don't remember. Everyone's brain works differently. It's unique. It's human. Oh gosh. I lost the saying I was going to say. How typical. That's my life. That's my life. If I remember it, I'll blurt it out. It's a bad habit of, well, kind of my entire family, to be honest. If we have something that we wanted to say and then we forget it and we're like, oh, I'll remember it later, and just blurt it out in the middle of nowhere and be like, aha, I remembered. See? I'm not going senile. I should not be going senile already. I'm only 26. Come on. Have mercy. Mercy. Okay. So, just going to put it kind of. Stop. Kind of like that. Yes. That will do. That'll do. Ah, the joys of living in a communal space. There's always something happening, someone saying something or other. I wonder how many of them can hear me just talking to myself in here. Uh, I kind of think I am fairly certain that that door alarm got caught up on my mic. It's so loud, how could it not be caught by my mic, even if the mic is pointed at my face? I was going to say something and then the door alarm just blurted out of my mind. Yes, I'm standing by that sound. I was saying something about, I wonder how many of my hallmates can hear me just talking to myself. Oh yeah, must be like something that streamers all have to deal with. Yeah, like my boyfriend is texting me. Probably should have told him I was recording. Oh well. I'll catch up with him in a moment. It's one of the things for people who do this kind of thing. Like, you can have a script and you can have an idea of where you're going, but like, sometimes the stream of consciousness just broadsides you, comes out of nowhere. Could also be that like I don't actually have a script for the video. I'm just talking, and that's a me problem. Would you call it a problem? I don't know if it's actually a problem or not. Might be a problem. Y'all can't let me know if it's a problem though, because this is pre-recorded and I'm not painting live on YouTube or Twitch. Wonder if TikTokers have the same problem. I mean, they probably do, right? Like, they're still, recording, probably in a at least semi